Here's something that would have sounded completely absurd 18 months ago. A CEO, not a developer, not a data scientist, or an AI engineer, opens an AI assistant on a certain morning. They describe in plain language how their AI agent should behave at a certain situation, or how it's actually performing today. No code, no technical specs, just intent. Within minutes, they've generated over 40 test scenarios, ready to run, against an agent that their engineering team is still building. No sprint planning, no Jira tickets, no can someone write these tests for me. Just a CEO or a product manager who deeply understands their users. Quote. The people closest to the users are now the one defining how AI systems are tested, improved, and trusted. And that changes everything. I'm Anouk, founder of LangWatch, and I'm gonna show you how this is done. The goal of today is to show you the different simulation runs we've been running into the platform, and give an overview where potentially an AI agent made a mistake. In this case, that was at a complex multi-issue agent in this example. But now, instead of running this from your code and seeing this in the platform or from our platform, we're going to use just natural language in your cloud code environment, Claude chat environment, to describe how the agent should be behaving, but also how it's performing today. For this, we're first going to go to Cloud Code. In order to set up the MCP server, I'm going to my settings, go to developer, and then edit config. In this case, I already uploaded the Cloud Code desktop configuration. I'm going to choose that one. And now it's for me time to go to the documentation of LangWatch, where you can find LangWatch MCP over here. To get my API key, I need to go to LangWatch, which I will do in a bit. But first of all, I'm going to choose to add it manually to my Claude code. Here, I'm going to copy it, go to my Sublime. Then here it requires me to add the API key, which I will do, which is being found in the LangWatch platform, going by settings. And then here right below, you can find the API key. You can see it's running. I added my API key, and LangWatch is running as an MCP server in my Claude code. Sometimes you need to refresh or reopen Cloud Code. Just make sure that you close it and then reopen again. But right now, I'm going to just start and go ahead and use it. Now I'm going to ask what scenarios are running today. Came back with a couple of scenarios already activated with the API key I've added. Named a couple of scenarios and double charge for refunds, new chat tool support, etc., etc. But now I actually want to write scenarios, write new test cases for my AI agents. In order to do so, I'm going to use skills. I'm going to go back to the documentation. Then I go to LangWatch skills. I'm actually going to use the platform prompts. So in this case, I want to know how my agent is performing or create scenarios for my agent. In this case, I'm going to copy this prompt. How is my agent performing? Go back to Claude and run this. So here we go. I asked Claude to run the agents. Can it go ahead? And yes, and now it queries all the analytics in parallel. So the complete dashboard actually appears in LangWatch, the cost per day, the recent traces, observations, latency climbing, for example, low activity, no errors detected, etc., etc. And now it's time to write new scenarios. The other prompt creates scenario tests for my agents. And what I can do is base that on a certain trace. So let's say I found a trace here, or I go back to the drill into an angry customer trace. But in this example, I'm just going to show it. And I add a trace here, which I want to dive deeper in, and based on a trace. So what I'm going to do is here, based on a certain trace, so a certain situation in production, I'm going to recreate the scenarios to fully test this again when we want to launch a new AI feature. So with this prompt, it should be able to run at least a new test case. So as you can see, it now created 8 new scenarios, a happy path, edge cases, and error handling. I can go ahead and ask again which of these I should dive deeper into, but what I actually want to do is go back to the LangWatch platform and see this. So I'm back at LangWatch, and I want to run the scenarios I just described in Cloud in plain language. I'm going to create a new run plan, and I'm going to get the ones that I just saw that were created. And I either can choose to run it against my agent, or I can run it against a certain prompt, give it a name, first scenario, and then run it now. Scenarios, and different simulations are running as a user is pretending to respond to the agent. And as you can see, the first one turned out green, but there are also a couple of failed ones. And while diving deeper into that, I see what happened, whether it was a multi-turn conversation, it was a first input and output. I can see the trains behind, and I see here the scenario test results with the criteria that were met and also the unmet criteria. Let me know if you have any questions. Now your engineers can throw off the testing your AI agents when a new feature will be launched to PMs, to QAs, to CEOs if they really know the behavior very, very well from their agents. Let us know if you have any questions. Happy to help.